Good evening everyone and welcome to Gustav Making Stuff. Today we're gonna do the combat rifle from Fallout 4. So, what you need to build this is some wood, different sizes of plastic pipes, this thing, which looks like this. You can find it in a hardware store, except when it's on the color. A Christmas ornament and some plastic. Some screws and other stuff. So we're going to start by drawing this out. I do not gonna use a fancy program for this because it's just gonna be just easy to see where the wood structure is gonna be and so on, because it's so few parts, so you don't really have to have anything scaled in a proper way. So I just think, oh, this will fit, this will be the proper size almost. And I took this 2x4, and you see I have done all the little lines there to carving it out with a knife. You can also use this properly with this tool, which I can't really remember what it's name of. I started doing this and I'm like, I can go on, but this thing needs to be finished. So I'm just showing that this could be a proper way to do it. Or, not a proper way, a way to do it. I have now cut this out, like that, and also I did a little mistake, so I had to shave this down a bit. Because it was too thick. Well, now it will be proper size, and I'll also put panels here so it will line up with this part. Like that. And I just took a normal saw to doing this, and I will do some fine cuttings of this. Yes. You see, I take the Dremel tool and just make it rounder. You can do this with a Dremel tool like that. Also, I didn't go really deep with this because, well, I've been sloppy here, okay? So, well, due to I'm not spending much time. Let's keep going with the pipes here instead. I will just cut out a little segment here so it will be like in the line of line up properly. That's the word for it. And also so that the side panels will come up over it. So you see, it isn't really half the pipe that is coming up off the wood. It's even more than that. So that's why we're gonna do it like that. And also I have the Christmas ornament is gonna be glued in the back there with a little pipe inside to support it like that. So we will have a rounded little edge. And now we're gonna cut out the side panels here. Which you see, it's gonna go over the pipe there, and it's gonna be like having a weld on it, which I'm going to show you how to do later on in this. And you see, you have to do some adjustments here, so it will just fold. It's not fold itself over, but well, be like that. And the side panels are cut out in plastic, and also I've made little holes where the screws are gonna be. So you see, I've just marked them like that, and now we're going to drill out all the holes in the side panels. So I drill several holes in the middle and then start to cutting it up with a knife. It will be much easier to do that like that. And this plastic is from old road signs that has been broken, but you can find this plastic sheets similar plastic sheets to buy in hardware stores. And you see, one side is going to be a little bit bigger due to it's going to have the ejected shells on that side. So you see, now I just do the holes there, and I'm going to put in the screws. My screws was too long, so I had to cut them down in lengths. But well, find the right length of screws. This was just the one I had laying around, so it was kind of useless for anything else. Yes, and now we're gonna cover up the holes. that mechanism for the gun there. So now we're gonna put another screw there with a little bit of pipe around, so you have the cocking thing, if that's the right word for it. Anyway, and now we're gonna put on some rail mounts, which I got from an old plastic toy gun, so nothing complicated than that. Because I have some fuel lines. And now we're gonna put on the front part of the gun, and also, but first we're going to secure the whole barrel here by attaching it with a little screw in the back there, and also in the front of it. And now I'm going to make this. We take tape, so, because there's a little gap, so we flatten that out so they will still be straight, and also attach the whole thing in the front there with a little screw. And you see it's still a little bit floppy, so we're gonna fix that later on. But you see, it looks like that in the front, and now we're gonna do the part that is under it. We're gonna take a thicker pipe and then cut it up and have a little thinner pipe in the middle of it, and then slide it in like that. But first, I'm going to cut that in an angle like that, and just take the hacksaw to it. And you see I adjusted it a little bit there. You see, like that, and now we're gonna mark and cut that also, so it will be nice. And after this I forgot to film it, but put some fillers and stuff like that, so it will still be flat in the front. And then you see, you can imaginally try to firing it and see if it feels good, which it does. And now we're gonna go to do these little side panels things, where I forgot was just a little flat line like that. And now we're gonna do the trigger guard, which I think it's named trigger guard. Someone might correct me on this. Anyway, the thing that you have your finger in to fire it, and it's actually ridiculously large. But if you play the game, you will see that if you have power armor, the finger will fit inside it, so they can actually operate the combat rifle with power armor on. Which is quite interesting detail, I think. Anyway, so I take this thing from the hardware store, which is used for carpenting, to attach things with it. I don't really know the name for it. I'm very sorry about that, but you'll see what it looks like and try to look like it if you or fill in the commentary if you know, in the comments below if you know what it is. Anyway, I'm just going to attach it like that. It's very easy to shape, and due to it still is not all of it, we're gonna fix that later. But first I'm going to carve the rounded edges on it, which I actually do quite late in this process due to I need to see how big the trigger guard and so on is going to be. So you see, I have flattened that out in a very, very good way, and now we're just going to take duct tape to this and paint it, and it's going to look really good actually, because duct tape is very good to paint, it sticks to it and so on, so I think that will be a good thing to do. I also put some tape on the inside there, which I do off screen. And now I'm going to do the trigger, which I just took a little bit of foam and cut it out of because, well, I wanted to be bending a little bit, but making a mechanism for that with a spring, which feels like a bit of, well, overkill due to I'm not going to have any other mechanism like magazines that can be ejected or something on this. Is just going to be like a flat prop. So now we're going to take some plastics to just do the side of the magazine. And magazines are basically like a squared box most of the time, so it's not very hard to do. You see, you're just going to have a right size so it will fit. Slide inside there, and then fill in with some dense EVA foam there. And now we're going to paint this thing, which is just going to be brown for the wood parts. And also I forgot to remove the lines before, which I do there. Yeah, so it's just gonna be brown. You can also take like proper oil to make the wood be more brown and so on, but I don't have that at home at the moment, so I will just have brown paint instead. We're just gonna slap it on. You can do it in many layers. I've spent like a day building this thing, so as I usually want to point out, if you want to spend like 2 weeks on this prop, well, it's gonna look much better than mine. But you see, they're now gonna take the glue and make a fake weld with it, because welds are, well, looks like that. And just waiting for that to dry, and then paint the whole thing black. Because this gun also looks a little bit like the heavier World War II machine gun that the Americans used, which I don't really know the name for, and some kind of a Thompson machine gun-ish. But that was the era of what it looked like. But I think that like these kind of retro future stuff from Fallout is fantastic, because I love Fallout. It learned me English in 1998. Yes, so now we're gonna paint the like metal parts where it actually is like more metal that are shiny on the slots and some of the screw heads and so on, and then we're gonna just paint metal onto it very, very thinly in some layers, so it will look like it has been, well, used for a long time, this gun. And as you see, it's gonna pop up really, really well. You can also reverse this this paint by spraying it first with silver and then paint it black, so it will have a little bit of translucency to it. But it doesn't really matter, because the result will be almost the same. It also depends on how like really particular you want to be when you do it. But now we're gonna mix up some brown and some black and so on, just make dirt and rust, and you can also have some fake blood to mix into the color, so it will looks like even more like organic and dirty and so on. And as you see, when I do it, I'm also painting it on one side, because I'm going to, well, paint it on the other side on the same way. But just so you know how to paint this thing, it is absolutely not hard at all. And also we're gonna fix the wood here by make some little dirt, black dirt into it. And thank you for watching this. I hope you find it informative. I will keep doing some tutorials in the future now, but this is what I have come up with at this moment. So, hope you like it. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching. And thank you for watching. And